Good morning family and welcome to Sweeney's Creek Farm. Today I'm going to talk about growing garlic. We love cooking with garlic here on the farm and last year I had a few bulbs left over and I thought I would actually plant them in the ground. Now these were just store-bought ones, but they were organic, so I had a spare bed and I thought I might just chuck these in the ground and see how they went. Here in Australia, in the southern hemisphere, the best time to plant is in March. In the northern hemisphere, it would be September. They say plant on the shortest day and harvest on the longest. Normally you would like to plant these in the ground when it's around 10 to 35 degrees in the soil, so it's not too cold, and planting them about 10 centimeters apart from each other, and you plant with the big end down and the pointy end up, and you bury it just below the surface. So that's the way that you plant them. Now these ones here that I planted, the store-bought ones, I planted them way too late. It could have actually been September when I planted these, but I thought I'd throw them in the ground and see how they went, and as you can see they did okay, and they're ready to harvest. It is very, very late in the season. You shouldn't be doing this, but this was just an experiment and it was just a spare bed that I had. You may see that it has tomatoes growing in it, and they self-seeded from last year's crop that we had in here. Speaking of growing with tomatoes, garlic is really, really useful as a companion plant, and it really likes to grow beside certain plants, but other plants hate it. So what I'll do is I'll list here the ones that it actually likes to be planted next to. They do really, really well with these growing beside them, but these ones listed here don't like growing beside garlic at all, so try to avoid growing them because they won't like it. Did you know that you can actually grow garlic underneath fruit trees? They've been known to actually assist with codling moth in apples and pears and quinces. It also helps with apple scab in scabs and peach leaf curl. So if you've got a few in the orchard that you want to plant some garlic under, try that and see how you go. Also, there's a few pests that really don't like it. Snails don't really particularly like garlic. The Japanese beetle and the root maggots don't like it. Now, growing beside tomatoes, the spider mites, they don't like garlic either, so you could try that. Also, if you've got an ornamental garden, try planting them with a rose because they've been known to deter aphids. You can also use garlic as a spray. So just get 4 cloves of garlic, crush them up, a little bit of water and put in a spray bottle. Obviously don't spray on those ones that you don't, that I mentioned before. And if you don't like the smell of garlic, don't do that either. Harvest is usually 17 to 25 weeks and these are long past it. There is 2 types of garlic. There's soft neck and there's hard neck. These ones are the hard neck. And what you do with the hard neck is they usually grow 12 leaves. And you want to harvest when there's about 4 or 5 green leaves left and the rest have died. With the soft necks, you want to wait until the bottom 4 leaves have died and then you can harvest them. So these ones are well and truly ready, and I'm going to try and harvest these in between my self-seeded tomatoes. And as you can see, I haven't even bothered to stake these tomatoes because they just all came up. So time to get digging. This ground is really, really hard. I haven't watered these. Now that's one thing. You do have to water your garlic, so just make sure that you keep it well watered, not too wet, but they do like it. If you don't water, like these ones, I suspect what I'm going to dig up is very, very tiny bulbs. So the only water that this actually had was from rain. So let's get digging. As you can see, this is really dry. But that's not a bad size actually, so I'm quite happy with that. I doubt that the rest will be that big, but there's one garlic. Now, I grew that from obviously 1 clove, and I think I had 2 cloves of garlic that I planted in here. So, you know, if I get a few more of these, I'm ahead. So there's another one, not a bad size. So any more after this is a bonus. Yeah, that's a bit disappointing. I'll use that, but there's no cloves really. And there you have it. This is from planting maybe 2 or 3 of the bulbs and just individual cloves, so that's not too bad. As I expected, there's quite a few small ones because I didn't water and they were way too late, but they're useful. Otherwise I was just going to throw those cloves out because they were getting a little bit So now in Australia is the time to be looking to purchase your garlic seed. As you know, I didn't buy garlic seed, but I'm just about to, and I've got a few beds that I'm going to prepare for planting. I'm not going to plant them in the same one, obviously, so I do crop rotation, so there's a couple of beds over there. And this year I'm going to plant way more because we love our garlic, and this won't last long. And as an added bonus, I've got some little cherry tomatoes as well, and these are beautiful. So I'll let these keep growing. They're quite happy there. They're not getting any water, which is absolutely amazing, and they're doing okay. So I encourage you to plant these if you're going into autumn or winter. They're a great crop to grow because if your beds are empty, at least you've got something in there and you can harvest them before you put in your summer garden. So if you've got a spare bed and you've got a few cloves of garlic in the fridge, so long as they're organic, because the other ones might not grow, whack them in and see how they go. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you liked that video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, think of subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything and we'd love to have you here. Bye for now.